All hail the Clicks crew! Alright, guys, today we're reviewing another Marvel comic issue. We're taking a look at something we haven't seen before, so I'm pretty excited about it. Right now, in April 2020, there are no new comics coming out, so we're getting in the Wayback Machine, and we are taking a look at a very popular comic called Uncanny X-Force. This is Volume 1. This is a great one. This is what made it so I knew who Rick Remender was. That's who wrote it. Then we've got Opinia and White for the other people that made this comic. This is issue number 1. This is the standard cover. And this is just a great run. I love this run. It's got a good selection of characters in it. I don't normally like Deadpool. I think that he's never been written well, but Remender really had a good grasp on him and wrote him well to the point where I was like, I get it, and I actually liked him. Then, as you can see, we also have Psylocke here. We have Archangel, Wolverine, and we have Phantom X, Charlie Cluster, who I had never heard of before this comic, but he is super cool. So, before we get into this comic, though, I want to take the time to let you know that Mr. Clicksflix is sponsored by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama, home of the ROC. No matter if you're in the United States or around the world, Lucky Dice Cafe has the winning role for our gaming needs. You can visit them at luckydicecafe.com or on their Facebook page using the link found in the description of this video. Mr. Clicksflix is also sponsored by trollandtoad.com, one of the largest online gaming retailers. Visit trollandtoad.com and use the promo code Mr. Clicksflix for 5% off your heroclix order today. Alright, so this is issue number 1, and this is a good comic. It sets up a story arc that I feel like this thing like goes for a while, like this story arc. So here we are. We're going to talk about what's in it. I'm not going to read it verbatim to you because I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube, and also I want you to get the comic if you like it. This run, especially the first couple issues, are kind of expensive for modern comics because they are very well thought of. So that's something to consider. You might want to pick up a second printing version or some kind of inexpensive variant cover. So here we are at the beginning. Deadpool's doing some Deadpool-y things. He's jumping off, making a joke. And they have in this series they have these black and gray sort of tactical uniforms. I really like the aesthetics a lot. Some of my favorite team uniforms I'd seen in a long time. So Deadpool's trying to infiltrate the secret base type thing. You know, he's infiltrating. We've got this gargoyle thing that looks like it's observing him. He ends up at this shrine type thing where there's a sarcophagus. Somebody looks like they get sacrificed. And then the gargoyle thing looks like it comes alive. And you're led to believe that something nefarious has happened to Mr. Wilson. So then we go and this is Psylocke, and she is having she's going through this thing. She sees Angel kind of being attacked by Archangel, and then there's a little back and forth there, and so there's that. And then she wakes up and she's in bed with Angel because at this particular point in time, Psylocke and Angel are an item of love interest. So they're kind of talking about things. She asks if he's nervous about something, and then he says no. She says he's lying because he is, and then he gets a phone call, and then we're gonna find out who that phone call is from here in just a second. But here we are. We're in London, and this is our introduction to Phantom X, who I think is really cool. He became one of my favorite like mutant style characters during this run because I thought he was so cool. He's got like misdirection is one of his powers. He's got like three brains. He's got bullets made out of skin that like basically never miss their target. It's really cool. So here he is. He's raiding the Tower of London. Wolverine's there to basically recruit him for the team. This is we're putting together the team part of the book. And then here we are. They're all in EVA, which is an external nervous system for Phantom X, because Phantom X is actually part of the Weapons Plus program. We find out. We've got Wolverine, Archangel, and Psylocke here, and I love these uniforms. These gray and black uniforms are cool. I love how it looks on Archangel there. So here we are. They're at the secret base. They talk about how Phantom X is a thief, so he should try to figure out how to get in there. And then, now we have some really cool action clips. They get in there. The same, like, kind of gargoyle thing comes alive. Minotaur, I guess. Minotaur is the right word. Wolverine jumps in, tries to fight. He gets whacked with the axe, and then he starts spouting some things about war. So here we are. There's a advertisement there. And then he goes crazy and starts attacking Archangel. Then Psylocke attacks the Minotaur. Phantom X saves her, and then he figures out that he might like her. And then he misdirects this Minotaur, who turns out to be a Horseman of War. And he ends up killing himself because he gets conflicted because he makes him think that he loves Psylocke. So that's pretty cool there. Then Psylocke saves Archangel from Wolverine, who's still kind of under the spell type thing that War put on him. And then here we are, deeper into the base. We see that Wade is still alive, although he looks like he's getting worked on. And then they dispatch some scientists that are working on, and there's a lot of dispatching in these comics. This is, I'm trying to think, there is some gore that occurs in them. I'd say if you were 13 or 14, right around there is when I'd say you could start reading something like this, after a talk with somebody. But so they have Wade there, and then they untie him, and he starts dispatching people also. And then they're trying to chase down the other people. They're trying to figure out what's going on here. And just some really cool action poses and stuff. The artist on this book does a good job. It has good color. Remender really knows how to write each individual character. So the dialogue's good. It feels like there's individual characters rather than just kind of one person writing. It feels like each character is an individual rather than the same voice coming from different characters. And then, they talk about, they got away, but then you see these other figures. And later on, you'll find out some really cool things. These are actually Horsemen of Apocalypse. And this is a cool version of them that I hadn't seen before. And then you see they're protecting someone. And that someone is young Apocalypse. So this is kind of like a reincarnation of Apocalypse. The story arc for this that it's starting is the Apocalypse Solution. So that's Apocalypse Solution Chapter 1. And that concludes the book for that. So what do I think about it? I think you can probably tell from how I was talking about it that I really like this book. The dialogue's good. Remender does a good job. I know he was in comics a long time before this, but this was the first time I'd heard of him. Each character felt like they had their own individual voice and was written in a way that I felt that character would talk. The art was good and on point. The coloring was just really good. This is everything I would want in a comic book. I would want this. The cover price of this was $3.99 at the time. I would have no problem paying $3.99, heck, even $4.99, if I knew I was going to get this quality every time out of a new Marvel comic book. So, would I recommend this? Do I like this comic? Yes, it's 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, 2 thumbs up. 6 hedgehogs, whatever it is you feel like you need to hear in order to get across that I like it. I would definitely try to pick up a copy of this. If I were you. If you guys want to see me review this entire run, let me know that in the comments below, and we'll see about setting something like that up. If you'd like me to just stick to heroclix and not talk about comics anymore, let me know that too. But I like to talk about comics every once in a while because it is a good source to draw inspiration for your teams. Maybe not always your competitive teams, although if you work hard enough, you can make a lot of figures competitive that wouldn't normally be. But for casual teams and stuff like that, normally if I'm kind of stuck in a rut or something like that, I'll refer to a comic. pick a team from there and do that. So it's good inspiration for heroclix. So you guys let me know about all that stuff in the comments below. I always enjoy reading that stuff. That's all I have for you today. As always, please remember this uncritical miss if you don't have probability control.